I'm going to talk about a pair of products that Young Living has for supporting our endocrine system, our hormone system. This is EndoGize and EndoFlex Vitality. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And this month we are working on supporting our endocrine system, which I kind of equate to mean our hormone system. It's obviously a lot more complicated than that, and we start looking at all the different hormone cascades that are involved, and you know, most of the time people think of hormones, they think of, well, maybe estrogen and progesterone, testosterone, you know, the sex hormones, or they think of the thyroid or the adrenals, or, you know, maybe even go to the point of thinking of a human growth hormone. You know, I mean, and when we talk about the hormones, it's all of those things, right? It's all of those. So is there a product, is there such a thing that would kind of support or give, you know, give a boost to all of the entire endocrine system? And I think that we have that in this combination of EndoGize as a capsule and EndoFlex Vitality as an essential oil supplement. Now, let me make clear, the Vitality designation means that this is labeled as a food supplement, and we talk about it in the context of taking it internally as a supplement. If you had the other version of this, which is identical in its oil content, you know, it's the exact same product, you could peel this label off, put the other label on, it would be the same. The EndoFlex regular, we talk about it using topically in massage or some kind of topical or aromatic application. It's simply an FDA regulation or rule that creates this requirement, a difference between a product that's labeled as a supplement and one that's labeled as a cosmetic. But for Young Living, the quality of the product is the same. There's no difference between the Vitality version of the oil and the supplement. And the cosmetic. Sorry, I dropped it and it rolled across the room. So here it is back again. Okay, so let's talk about these two. I guess I'll talk about the oil first because I got all excited about that. So the EndoFlex, endo meaning supporting or relating to the endocrine system, and flex meaning very flexible, going to work with a lot of different parts to support the system. And we have in here, it's spearmint oil in a base of sesame oil. There's a base of sesame, so it already is a little bit diluted. So those of you who are really adamant about you must always dilute your essential oils, which I don't believe that. You can dilute or not if you want to. But this is diluted in some sesame oil. So spearmint, sage, geranium, myrtle, German chamomile, nutmeg, and so if you're familiar with any of those individually, each of them can be, you know, particularly good for supporting a different part of the endocrine system. So we have a very good range of support for this. The nutmeg, I think of being herbal support for the adrenal system or the energy system. Chamomiles are very good for the nervous system, especially to help calm down, which we need to calm the nervous system down, but at the same time give a boost to the endocrine system. So that's a great combination of oils for that. We have our myrtle and our spearmint. Both are thought to help in the thyroid system and work with that. And then we have the geranium, which actually supports the liver, which is a wonderful piece of the puzzle here, because the liver is necessary in the hormone system to process these hormones, to clear them out of the bloodstream. And if the liver's all clogged up and can't do its job, then we're not going to be healthy in our hormones. And so here is herbal support for the liver as well. And then sage is recognized for hormone support in a lot of different ways, or endocrine support in different ways. So this is our EndoFlex, and we're taking this internally. Now, how do you take it internally? You can put it in an empty capsule. You can put it in a little bit of water. We were using the yacon syrup last month, and so I had some left over from that, so I just put 3 or 4 drops in a spoon with yacon syrup and took that just like that. You can also do that same thing with the syrup and the water. Just a great herbal. If you're drinking the sleek tea, you can put 3 drops of this in your sleek tea. It does have a flavor. I mean, when you put sage and nutmeg, you're gonna taste that flavor. So if you don't want to taste all that, then go ahead and put it in a capsule, even 3 or 4 drops, and then you could fill the rest up with some diluting oil or not, or you could take the whole capsule of this. Fill it up with 18 drops. Okay, so the EndoGize is this is the herbal supplement. Now this one has both essential oil herbals. It has nutritional components like the vitamin B6 and zinc, for example. Zinc is an enzyme enhancer. It's basically a cofactor required for a lot of enzymatic processes, so the body can't function very well without zinc, and especially in the hormone cascades, those are all, at one point or another will touch the zinc system, or the zinc system will touch the hormone cascade system. So really good to get your zinc. This is in one capsule, it's 20%, 2 milligrams. Of course, you can take a lot more than that throughout the day, but there's an assumption that you're not necessarily taking all of your zinc in one shot here from this supplement. Then we've got the EndoGize blend, which is some herbs that are supposed to be supportive of metabolism and get the body going, as well as boost up hormone systems. But those are, again, these are herbs in general are not going to boost the system past its out of balance point. It's not it's not going to push and push and push. In fact, if you look at caffeine, for example, if you get it in its natural form in like green tea, like the sleek tea has it. If you really truly get a green tea extract that's complete, then you actually have balancers in there so that you've got the caffeine, which is stimulating, but you've got the other stuff that is very calming. And so typically in nature, when you take an herbal, especially a good quality whole herb product, you're going to have all those natural balancers in there. So you're not going to get this tendency to push up the system out of balance. There are some things that can do that, but for the most part, when we're talking about an herbal product, especially something as well done as this, you're not going to get overstimulated. Doesn't mean you can just take as much as you want, but I mean, this is recommended to take 2 capsules a day, one in the one earlier in the day and one later in the day. Okay, so this does have, I want to point out that does have DHEA. In my understanding, it has 25 milligrams of DHEA, which by some people's assessment, that's a high dose. I don't think we're getting enough DHEA. DHEA is a precursor to a lot of the hormone systems that are happening up in the head. The precursor meaning that it kind of feeds into the system. Pregnenolone is another one of those that's a precursor hormone that goes and feeds into the system. DHEA does have its own actions, so some people will call it a hormone in and of itself. In the United States, it's regulated as a supplement, not considered as a hormone or not as a medicine, okay? So DHEA supplementation, somewhat controversial in some circles. Some people say just keep them really low, 5 milligrams. This is a 25 milligram dose. So the only caution I would have with this, I've taken DHEA for a long time, and the only caution that seems to be legitimate in the literature is if you are a woman who has had a history of estrogenic, hormone-stimulated breast cancer, DHEA in excess in the body tends to break down to forms of estrogen that are the wrong form of estrogen. In other words, it's the form of estrogen that tends to stimulate breast cancer or those, let me say, the cancer cells that react to estrogen. That does not say it's going to give you breast cancer. No, you would have to already have it, and then the DHEA will break down. If you take too much of it, will break down into that estrogen. So if you have no risk if you don't have a family risk of breast cancer, you're not in any breast cancer mode, or you've had breast cancer and you know it was not estrogenic, then you don't have any worries about taking a supplement with DHEA in it. If you are in that mode or you want to be ultra cautious, then I would suggest not taking this supplement. The additional stuff in here, it's phosphatidylcholine. It has black pepper, which is the pepperine in black pepper helps the body to absorb certainly some of these, especially some of these things that are tougher to get in. It actually has a really good complement of enzymes, so digestive enzymes. So not only are we getting good basic endocrine support, metabolic support, we got our zinc as pre-enzyme or enzyme cofactor, and then we've got our actual digestive enzymes in here. So what happens if we're stressed? All the hormones go down and the digestion goes down. And so this is a fabulous tool to boost the system up. It's a very broad, it's specific to the endocrine system, but it hits all the elements that we need to support the system. And like I said, it has the glucoamylase, the protease, amylase, and cellulase. So it's got all of our enzymes in all four categories. Well, it doesn't. I don't see a lipase in here, but it's got 3 of the 4 categories in here. But it does have lecithin, which is going to help to solubilize your fat and the fat in your diet. Okay, and then we have our essential oil blend. And ginger, good for the liver. Myrrh, cassia, the clary sage, and then the one that people talk about the most is Caniza or Canadian Fleabane. Interestingly, Canadian Fleabane is kind of a agricultural pest. It's a weed up in Canada, and grows on the fence lines and gets into crops and stuff. And now Young Living is cultivating it for its herbal quality. And so the Caniza oil is supposed to be very good for the upper endocrine system, everything that's happening above the neck. And so good for supporting all of that up here, and that's part of this. This is why this product went out of stock. Actually, was the Caniza essential oil seemed to be hard to get, which ironically, like I said, it's the plant itself is a weed. So we are now cultivating it. I think we've got our supply up, and we shouldn't have a problem with these products that contain Canadian Fleabane or Caniza oil. Okay, so this is our EndoGize. Our EndoGize and EndoFlex combination. Great combination to support the entire, a very good spectrum of ingredients that support the entire endocrine system from top to bottom. And again, this is taken at 1 capsule twice a day. This is 3 or 4 drops, or half a capsule, or even more, once or twice a day. Taking essential oils is just a matter at some point of how you feel. Some people are going to go really light on it, so 3 drops twice a day would be plenty. I could take a full capsule of this twice a day and just feel the benefit of it. So for me, it just depends. There's certainly nothing in here that's going to hurt you, and the quality is here to ensure that it's a supplement. So it's the vitality quality guarantee that Young Living has, which of course I'm going to reiterate that the cosmetic version of this is not lesser quality. It is the exact same quality. Young Living only has one quality of essential oil, and that is the top quality. It never offers a lower quality essential oil that you can put in your diffuser. Why? Because when you put it in the air and you breathe it in, it's going to go into your brain anyway. So you don't want to be putting toxic stuff on your skin and in the air. So when we talk about vitality essential oils, we really mean the real deal. Okay, so this is the EndoFlex Vitality and the EndoGize combination. Those combination helping to support our endocrine system from top to bottom. It includes liver support, enzyme support, digestive support. It's got a little bit of something for everything, from metabolism to thyroid to adrenal, all that support going in on all, kind of all these little pieces coming in together. All helping out the hormone system a little bit at a time. Nothing, not some one thing that's going to goose the whole system. Okay, so a great balancer product, and I highly recommend. As we work with this month, you'll get a chance to feel it. But I highly recommend playing with this a little bit and seeing how it feels. And then once you do take these kind of things. You don't necessarily need them all the time. It's not something you do forever, right? Unless you do need it. I mean, some people just really need that extra support. Their life is full of so much stress. They cannot seem to get their system under control with the life that they've got. So they supplement something like this to help keep from crashing. And that's legitimate. That's fine. I mean, I highly recommend people get a hold of their life so they don't have to supplement to get through the day, ideally. But if you're until that point, this is a great supplement to boost on. So I don't like taking things, like I said, all the time. I kind of recommend giving it a try, see how you feel, and see how your body does on things like this. And then you've got that imprint. You know what your body feels like when you take it, and then you get that wisdom and intuition that when I've got that EndoGize, EndoFlex. I'm going to take that again. That felt good. Okay? Happy wellness, one day at a time.